Being a cyclist over 40, you might have reached a plateau in your cycling performance. You might be finding it harder to lose weight, increase your performance, increase your strength gains. Now you've reached that tender age of 40 plus. However, there are many ways to overcome these plateaus now you've reached 40. And in today's video, I'm going to discuss the key topics that you want to focus on if you're looking to shed some pounds, increase your performance as a cyclist, and overcome those plateaus that you might be experiencing. The old analogy, if you want to get better as a cyclist, you want to cycle more. Cycling doesn't play out as easy as you get older. As we get older, we have more time commitments with family and work, and also our body requires more rest. So the miles you might be able to put in when you were 20, certainly you might not be able to have the same ability to cycle the same amount of miles now you're 40. And overtraining is one of the key problems if you are reaching plateau. If you're overtraining, your body is not having adequate recovery time. You're also going to probably find that the sessions that you're doing are going to be not to the ability that you want them to be. They're not going to be 100%. You're going to be fatigued when you're doing these sessions. So if you're looking to improve your cycling ability, if you're looking to improve your FTP, your endurance, your VO2 max, your climbing ability, when you come to do those sessions and you've been having a high training load, then you're going to find that your ability to get the most out of those sessions are going to be compromised. So all you're going to do over time is overtrain and then increase the risk of burnout, which is going to put you back more than it is going to bring you forward. So be conscious of overtraining. Make sure you are monitoring your total stress score throughout the week if you're monitoring your training in any way. And look out for signs of overtraining as well. So make sure that if you're feeling demotivated, you're not enjoying training as much as you used to, you're not enjoying just getting out on the bike, that's one of the key signs of overtraining. If you're struggling to sleep, even after hard weeks on the bike, again, that could be a sign that you're overtraining. Again, look at your heart rate availability as well. If your heart rate's pretty high when it comes to just doing quite a basic session, again, it could be a sign. Also, look out for not being able to get your heart rate up to certain levels during hard efforts. So if you're doing a sprint or a hard interval session and you're not really reaching the heart rate that you'd normally reach, you're struggling to get power out, then again, another good sign of overtraining and you need some time off. Another one is just, are you irritable, not eating as much, and just not as happy as you'd normally be in yourself because of the amount of training you're doing. If you're overly fatigued and you're experiencing high levels of stress, then that's also could be a sign that you're overtraining. So focus on these key areas to make sure you're not overtraining, which could be impacting your ability to progress and overcome any plateaus that you're experiencing. And this goes on to the next topic, is recovery. So if you are training hard, you want to make sure you're recovering well alongside that. It's no good just training as hard as you can and thinking recovery as a side note. Recovery should be an integral part of your training schedule on a weekly basis. You should have at least scheduled 1 to 2 good recovery days within your training plan. And this might even become 3 recovery days if you include a light recovery session on the bike and some form of mobility exercises. So recovery doesn't always have to mean just doing nothing and putting your feet up on the sofa. It can include a nice easy recovery spin where you're keeping your heart rate nice and low in the zone 1 and just really spinning the legs to help loosen up your legs and free some lactic acid in your muscles. You also could add in some active recovery, which could be going for a swim or just going for a nice leisurely walk as well. So again, keeping the intensity nice and low, resting the legs and not overdoing it too much. Also, it allows you to give a bit more a mental break from getting on the bike as well. Because sometimes just getting on the turbo trainer, even if you enjoy being on the turbo trainer, just the added concept and the mental capacity to get on it, get in your kit, also can add a little bit of extra stress to you, which could bring about a risk of overtraining as well. So my advice is prescribing more active recovery off the bike and just mix things up a little bit more so you have a little bit of break and a complete switch off from cycling. So when you do go back to cycling, then fully energized, excited to get back on the bike after some recovery days. Try and incorporate the recovery days around your training and especially the harder sessions that you might be doing. So if you are going out for a long weekend ride, maybe prescribe a good recovery session the day after to cover or complete day off. And if you are doing a hard session in the week, like a threshold session, a VO2 max session, make sure the session after that is going to be more of a light zone 2 session or a recovery session, just to give your body adequate ability to recover so you're not just increasing intensity day after day, which again can lead to burnout. And my final point when it comes to overcoming any plateaus now you're 40 and above is really focusing on your nutrition. It's really key that you fuel well before, during and after a ride. A lot of the time we neglect nutrition, especially when we're riding, and think that we can eat whatever we want off the bike. But actually, as we get older, nutrition becomes even more critical in terms of keeping us healthy on and off the bike. If you're fueling well while riding, you shouldn't be too hungry when you get back off the bike. You want to make sure you hydrate well throughout the day, and especially around riding as well. And then that should also minimize any sort of binge eating after you get off the bike as well. Also, as you're getting off the bike, make sure you're having a good protein shake with some carbohydrates in there to help replenish the glycogen stores in your muscle and repair your muscles with some extra protein as well. We lose muscle as we get older, so it's really critical we're giving our body adequate ability to recover, giving our bodies adequate protein in the day and around our exercise levels. If you are cycling quite a lot, you should be consuming roughly about 1 gram per kilogram of body weight. That might increase to 1.2 to 1.5 grams, depending on how much endurance, how much cycling you are doing per week. But generally, as a rule of thumb, 1 gram per kilogram of body weight. So if you're 70 kilos in weight, then 70 grams of protein per day should be sufficient. Maybe increase that to 1.5. So maybe 100 grams or so of protein per day in order to give your body a chance to recover well and provide the adequate amount of protein to build more muscle and repair muscle nice and efficiently. So the key ways to overcome any plateaus in your cycling fitness and your weight, especially off the bike, will be focusing on making sure you're monitoring your training so you're not overtraining. Look at your recovery protocols around your training as well to incorporate plenty of sleep, plenty of rest days, just so the sessions you are incorporating are as efficient as possible. And then finally, make sure you're fueling well before, during and after the bike. Make sure you're fueling well for the sessions that you're going into. Make sure you're recovering well post-session, and make sure you're fueling well during your sessions to get the most out of your performance. And once you've optimized all those, you should make it easier for you to overcome any plateaus, help you become leaner as a cyclist, and help you cycle stronger long into your 40s, 50s and beyond. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What kind of plateaus have you experienced now you're a cyclist of 40 and above? And don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying these videos so far. And if you're interested in learning how you can cycle faster in just 4 hours a week, then make sure you check out this video here.